Hello and welcome to another Tuesday Talk with Ruby Reese. Shortly, we will be joined by Ronan, aka your West Cork Dog Trainer, to speak all about German Shepherds. And I think Ronan's already in the chat. So if technology will allow, we will hopefully have Ronan on it. Hello, how are you doing, Ronan? Thank you very much for joining me.
No problem. How are you?
Good, thank you. Would you do us the pleasure of launching straight into it and introducing yourself?
Of course. My name is Ronan and I am your West Cork Dog Trainer down in Banleen in West Cork.
Thank you very much. And for anyone that's joining in tonight that doesn't know me yet, I'm Killian from Ruby Reese. We're a brand that will be celebrating our second birthday in May this year. And we set up these Tuesday talks to, help strengthen our Irish dog community, get some of the great knowledge out there that's, get some of it together and get it shared among everyone. So thank you so much, Roland, for coming on. You're going to be sharing a little bit of your knowledge about German Shepherds. Yeah. Well, I only try to keep these short and sweet, so we won't be able to discuss everything about the German Shepherd in a comprehensive way, but maybe a little bit to you and to how you got involved with German Shepherds. We'd love to hear how you started off with the breed.
Well, I was very, very small when I kind of was around them. My cousins had shepherds, my uncles, and I kind of always wanted them, but my parents would never let me get a dog. We actually had a cat. Mm-hmm. But myself and my wife now, we're together 5 years, and I think we got a rescue small collie spaniel, and she ended up having a brain deformity. Mm-hmm. She's still with us.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to get her a friend, and I couldn't say no to a German Shepherd at this point. So, she was looking on rescues, and just so happens a German Shepherd popped up very, very close by in the middle of COVID, I know.
Yeah.
And went down. He was the last one of the litter, brought him home, and just that's all she wrote, really, with him. Brought him home, and I was just the happiest man ever. I finally have a German Shepherd because my uncles, my cousins had him, and I finally have one.
And so, it's interesting that you were looking specifically for a German Shepherd, because sometimes I feel the breed is a little bit misunderstood, So I feel some trainers tend to love German Shepherds, and other people then that you meet in the community might even fear German Shepherds. So do you also feel that there's a bit of they're a misunderstood breed in general?
Unbelievably, yeah. I mean, from being around them when I was really young, I didn't really see that until I've owned one myself. I didn't see it when we were out and about walking them. The misperception was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. You'll get 9 out of 10 comments could be, "Oh, he's beautiful, he's lovely," and you're, "Thank you very much." That one bad comment could stick with you for the day, and it's horrible. And I couldn't believe the perception they got.
Yeah. And do you think, I know this is probably a perceptive question, but do you think that kind of, or do you think that perception comes from Hollywood and how they're portrayed in films? Is it that they're often used as working dogs in certain contexts? Do you think it's because they might have a slightly wolf-like silhouette? Where do you think maybe that misunderstanding can come from?
I think you could probably pick from each of them.
Yeah.
Hollywood, the movies, they love them. Just like you can put them in the range with the Huskies. I mean, Game of Thrones, when that came out, everyone got a Husky and they didn't realize what kind of breed they are. I don't think people still don't do the research into what they're getting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Hollywood, I think, does a lot of it. I've seen a recent one that actually came out in Prime recently. I think it was this year, called Muzzle.
Okay.
And it was all Belgian Malinois, and I don't want to give away. I'm going to give away the movie, but the end of it is basically the Belgian Malinois. It just kills the bad guy, but it does it so gruesomely. Mm-hmm. And then you bring that out for a walk. What's someone going to think? I don't think it kind of gives them a good name.
So I suppose we're kind of preaching to the choir here, because the people that tend to watch in here already have a good idea. But I suppose it's worthwhile saying that any dog in the wrong hands, just like any human, under the wrong influence can probably be turned into a baddie, let's say, whatever.
That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Without going into too much detail, but so I think it's important to note that I suppose anyone can be led down a bad path if it's in the wrong conditions.
I used to work for DPD years ago, and I've had colleagues bite me. I couldn't go in the gate because of a Jack Russell.
Exactly.
But I see a fully grown lab or a German Shepherd, I'll give him a bloody hug.
Yeah.
But I suppose I've been brought up with a different perception of him, and I see the soft side of him.
Yeah.
He whinges, he whines, he wants to go play ball. I see that side, whereas other people, as you said, the perception, maybe he's a little bit like a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
My fella now is 50 kilos, so he's a big boy. I have a really good friend of mine, Shelley. She works in I'll shout out this, potty fishing Bandon. Great job. She is only a year-old German Shepherd who's already bigger than my fella, and he's only a year.
Yeah.
So, but there's another friend of mine with another German Shepherd. We have a couple of Shepherd friends, but they've all said my fella has that look about him, that he just looks, an angry face.
Yeah.
I don't see that. So, but Troy, I kiss him all the time, so I definitely
know.
See it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what that face actually means. That face means give me another treat or really for a walk or whatever it is. And it's interesting that you're kind of embarking on a training journey as well, because I associate German Shepherds with trainers a lot. I don't know, maybe it's just I keep bumping into trainers that are either in love with German Shepherds, have German Shepherds, want German Shepherds. Is there any way of explaining that connection? Are they extremely trainable dogs?
I'm going to go straight to Catherine from Snouting About.
Yeah.
I had a chat with her months ago, and I was talking about my own Shepherd, and she also mentioned she had a Shepherd.
Yeah.
And she couldn't have said it any better. It's because they're just so easy to train.
Mm-hmm.
They're so susceptible to what you want, and what you can get out of them is amazing. And I think just for the fact any trainer will say it, you'll go to a German Shepherd, they'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Because they're happy to work with you. And it just makes you look good.
Yeah.
When the Shepherd does everything for you. So,
and
I think that's why they're so popular.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose it's great as a trainer to be able to try out new techniques, and that your dog is already kind of open to train.
Yeah.
Would you say they have a strong will to please? Is that modern terminology?
My fella, not so much.
Okay. Yeah.
I've heard. I did a man trailing course a couple of months back with Kieran, actually, from LKC down in Tralee.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he said a lot of the dogs thrive off praise, and when you finish the run, say you'll come back down, the group is praising the dog, whereas I came back down on my fella and he's just like, good luck, God bless. He couldn't care less.
Yeah.
He runs off something different, and it's definitely not praise.
Okay. Very good. And so you mentioned man training. I'm wondering, are their energy needs quite large, and especially with such a large dog, do they have a lot of energy needs, and do they need a lot of physical exercise as well?
I think more brain activity.
Okay.
We did the man training specifically for his reactivity, and I couldn't believe I saw a different dog within 6 hours. It was amazing. And he was very, very bad at reactivity when he's still a little bit iffy, but the man, giving him a job to do was just the best thing in the world. And getting his focus like that just seeing him change like that was amazing. And it helped me understand him even more, that by doing something that benefits him, he'll ignore what's bad. And it really helped the both of us, because he's 4 now, and I would say the first 2.5 years was just maniac. He was a maniac, and myself and my wife would come home nearly divorced over the dog. Yeah. But seeing him so different now, the one thing I can't get away from is his fixation on the dogs. I'm happy with that, because he's not lunging, he's not barking, he's not up on the back legs roaring. He has a look and he's back to me, and that's all I wanted. He might still look at the other dog, but I'm happy with what I can get out of him.
He just wants to have understood the whole situation, what's going on, who's around.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people see it, like if you saw a German Shepherd coming at you, oh, it's aggression. He got off my lead once a couple of years back. There was I think it was a French Bulldog with 300 yards away. He got there and pooped his pants. He didn't know what to do. And in that moment, I was like, he's so nervous.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand it back then. And myself and my wife did the research and just kept reading and training. I'd spend hours up at the Black Rock Pier, just sit there and just let him watch at a distance and just wait for him to look at me just once. It might take an hour.
Yeah.
But it works. I mean, you'd want the patience of a saint, but God, it works.
And it's very interesting now that you're saying about German Shepherds, because we've heard this about loads of other dogs that, you know, the larger the breed, they all tend to be scary, you know, scaredy cats. I grew up with St. Bernards. My sister has a Bernese Mountain Dog. We've heard this about, you know, Great Danes, about loads of huge dogs. And they're all big scaredy cats. And then I've got a little Frenchie, actually, like you say. And like she thinks she's the biggest dog.
Oh, they're weapons.
On the planet.
Absolute weapons.
Yeah, exactly. She's definitely a rear wheel drive, and going forward is the only way. So that's amazing, and it's interesting to see that pattern across all kind of larger dogs as well.
Yeah, I just wish the perception would change on certain breeds, but like my animal welfare class in college at the moment, we talk a lot about the generation gaps. And my teacher was saying that restricted breeds list was supposed to actually be abolished 2 years ago. COVID halted it. But even if it was gotten rid of, it'd take another 20 years for perceptions to change.
Oh, absolutely. And you've mentioned now a couple of times your training journey, so you're still on this journey, and I'm sure that's really interesting for a lot of people watching in that might be inspired to go on a similar journey themselves soon.
It's a long one.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, lifelong learning and all that anyway.
Definitely.
It's going to be the rest of your life, I'd say. But
it took me a long time to even realise this is what I wanted to do. But it doesn't matter what age you are, do it.
Do you want to maybe summarise where you are in your journey at the moment, and maybe also what your German Shepherd has taught you about being a better trainer so far?
So at the moment, I'm a month away from finishing my animal care and canine husbandry course. I'm in St. John's. I do recommend that course to anyone that wants to even just get started. It's by no means a shortcut. It's a full year. You can do a level 6 afterwards, but I'm nearly finished. My exams for this year start at the end of April. I'm after enrolling in Nancy Creedon's 2 courses, which start at the end of April also, so they overlap. Brilliant. Which is great. So that's her first course actually is with Claire from Snout and Kerry, which I can't wait for.
Fantastic.
The second course is the personal dog training instruction, as long as I pass the first one. So hopefully, all going well, by November, December this year, I will be qualified. So, but that is by no means journey finished. It just means I can open up what I'm building here, and I can start doing things properly.
Exactly. No, that sounds fantastic. And I mean, well, congratulations for the steps you've taken.
Thank you.
And best of luck for the next steps. And like you say, it's only moving on to kind of endings of chapters, because it's going to always be a lifelong learning journey, I suppose.
Constant.
Yeah. For any of us working with people or dogs, I think
dogs are easier.
Exactly. Do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about how you got into training, maybe through your German Shepherd? And
it's definitely through him, anyway. I mean, because when we got our rescue to start, and she was a small collie spaniel, we rescued her from the ISPCA in Mallow, and she, as I said, she turned out to have a brain deformity, because a lot of vets said, epilepsy. It wasn't. So we took her to get the CT scan. Turned out she had a brain deformity, so she's on the epileptic medication. And we were both working at the time, and it wasn't so much as she needs a friend because second dog. It was more of kind of the bigger dog to look after her. Do you know what I mean? I thought that might help to have some company as well. what, maybe if we're not there for a couple of hours, because we were kind of worried she has seizures when we weren't there, because we were just worried. But we got the big fella anyway, Reggie, and we got him at 10 weeks, and from day one reactive. It was crazy. We didn't know what was happening.
And reactive to people, or
just
like
dogs.
strangers or dogs?
Just dogs.
Okay.
It was. I'd never seen anything. I've seen reactive dogs, but nothing like this at 10 weeks. And I was thinking, I was like, what could have happened in those 10 weeks? So about a year later, I found out there was 2 collies on a farm across the road who would come over to where we got him and terrorize that litter.
Okay.
So it turns out like those off-lead dogs from across the road turned out to scare the hell out of him. So it was just an uphill battle, and because we were taking him out for walks, he'd be up in the back legs, jumping, running, roaring, frothing at the mouth, and I didn't know how to redirect it. I didn't know how to change it. And we had to do some research. So I just went reading everything, looking at videos, YouTube, trainers. I went to a trainer in Clonakilty. It was close to where we are now. Unfortunately, she passed away. But she got me on the starting track, if you know what I mean. She had a dog who just ignored everything. And that really helped my fella by, I think, either being startled or a dog that's interested in him, he gets a bit, oh God, what's going on? Whereas when she brought the dog out who just couldn't care less about him, it eased his nerves, and he was able to redirect himself. And I never saw that before. So she really put me on the right track. And from there, I think I was able to put everything she told me and implement it into just everyday life. And what she told me, now I apply to everyone. Just start at home. There's no point in going A to Z straight away. I'm going to go down the street and see if he does it. They're not going to do it unless he's a border collie who wants to, do agility. But like, I just went through him, A, B, C, D, and he just turned into a different dog. Like we worked on it at home, we worked on it outside, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, in the sitting room, wherever we could do things, just to calm him and teach him how to be calm was tough. But I saw a different dog in a couple of months, and it was the best feeling. And by me and my wife being able to give our dog that different life, I want to give that to the same people that struggled with it like I did.
Exactly. And I suppose you were kind of thrown into the deep end in the fact that you had a dog that had, the potential to be a strong and big dog. That
like it was scary. Like I never saw myself. I thought I'd ever be scared of my own. Like I wasn't scared of my own dog. I was scared of what he could do. And
exactly. And
I always feared, because he's a German Shepherd on the restricted breeds list, if he bites, I have to put him down. And I never want that to happen. So, like, I tell anyone I'm talking to about training now, like, if you have a reactive dog and you see a dog coming towards you, cross the road, go the other direction. There's no point in putting him into the situation. Like, even if you think to yourself, he might walk past, he's not going to. Go the other way.
And I suppose it really kind of showed you what, you had to go through the full process yourself as well of really understanding your own dog's behaviour, what the triggers were going to be, and how he reacts then as well. So I suppose it probably taught you all the way along. You struggled against or with figuring out what body language meant and the whole lot. So it was a full journey.
Oh, my college course, the behaviour side of things has been the biggest insight into just understanding the smallest details, and it's really helped me help other people as well. Like everyone knows the tail or the whale eye, stuff like that, but like there's furrow the eyebrows, there's the rigid body, there's even the slightest little paw up. I couldn't believe, like, every day is a bloody learning day. And it really helps. I mean, like, I've noticed so much. There's a big football pitch down where we are, and I know there's a dog in the back garden down there, and I tested my fellow one day. I says, where's the threshold? So we're about 50 feet away on the walkway, and I can hear the dog barking, and I'm videoing my fellow, just watching him so I can check it later. And as he's walking, tail is down, he's happy out, trotting away. And we get to a certain point, the tail just shoots right to the sky. And I was like, right, turn around. And that's my threshold for that day.
Yeah.
Can I get 2 feet closer tomorrow? 2 feet closer the next day? And then we eventually got to the point where that dog is barking. My fella couldn't care less.
Yeah.
And you just, like, people don't realize seconds or even minutes for a dog is huge.
Yeah.
You might think, oh my God, nothing's happening, but 2 feet, 2 seconds is massive for a dog. And then you could get to 4 seconds the next day, 4 feet, and it's always winning. People just don't realize the battle's won by small baby steps.
Oh, definitely, yeah, and it's the whole process going through step by step as well. So it's that's brilliant, and it's such an exciting journey. So honestly, best of luck with the continuation of your course. And I'm sure the penny will keep dropping every day, but that's where that fits in. It definitely does for the rest of us. But going back to, I suppose, more German Shepherds in general, they're generally good with strangers and with new dogs, right? I mean,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, they're known as an anxious breed, maybe towards dogs more. But he meets people and he loves them. Like he's not much of a kisser, he's a sniffer.
Yeah.
But
I
think that might be a little bit easier on people if he just sniffs.
Yeah. Exactly.
But he loves a good sniff, and he's great with people. I mean, my small one's the guard dog, not him.
Oh, definitely. That's always the way. And when it comes to grooming needs, because I've heard some stories, do they need a good brushing, especially when it comes to shedding?
Get yourself 5 or 6 hoovers, seriously. It's just hair everywhere, and as you can see, this winter is just non-stop with rain, and he drags in dirt all day long. Make sure you have tile floor. Make it easier on yourself.
Tile floor, a steel comb, and some Ruby Reese conditioning spray.
Loads of brushes.
That's it. And I suppose, like, talking about their personalities as well, are there particular types of homes that they might be suited to? Are they suited to families, country living? Are they a city dog? Do they need a lot of space? Like, what type of family would be the ideal situation, let's say, for a German Shepherd?
Definitely give them some land.
Yeah.
Give them a nice open space. I wouldn't recommend them in, like, funnily enough, we got him when we were living in Douglas at the time. And luckily we got the place we have. Like, I think we're 2 acres, so perfect for him. I wouldn't recommend kind of small city live unless you can just get out every day with him.
Yeah.
I mean, by all means, get him if you're in an apartment, but if you're going to commit to that, get out walking, do some man trailing, because they do need a lot of stimulation.
Exactly. Know what you're signing up for.
But the best bit of advice I've ever been given is give yourself a day off. So, but like last couple of days, it's just been absolutely pissing rain here. But my fella's more than happy to sit down all day long and happy out, and then he'll go out the next day, walk for 10 hours for you.
Yeah.
But I definitely recommend a good open space for them, even if you wanted to get a big run, but just do stimulate them. They need that. But like, again, every German Shepherd's personality is going to be different, you know.
Exactly.
So it depends on what way you want to work with them. And my fella loves the tennis ball, and he loves sniffing, so I use those. So either find the ball or pop the ball with the hurley.
Very good. And I suppose, trying to stay in generalities as well, like, are there any common health concerns that are specific to, or that we see a lot with German Shepherds? Is there anything in particular there that we need to watch out for?
I think you can put it with all large breeds is the hips.
Yeah.
Our fella's hips are gone already. He's 4 at the end of this month. He was diagnosed with only a year and a half. So I think I was at work one day, herself rang me, and I could hear Reggie screaming in the background. I didn't know what was happening, but apparently he popped the hip out.
Yeah.
And brought him in. So the ball was still a ball, but the socket was square. And nothing, like, if you look at him, he's perfectly straight. But like, you say you want a straight back German Shepherd, it doesn't mean anything anymore. I don't think, anyway. It's just genetics. Any large breeder like that, a friend of mine's golden retriever has really bad back legs already, and he's only just over nearly 2, I think. Yeah. So, but they're definitely common. I think a big thing we didn't realize was that with our own fella, and I researched it because he got it, was really bad skin.
Okay.
We changed his diet 3 or 4 times over a 6 month kind of timeline. I know we gave him like the 9 to 12 weeks on the same food. He still was itching. He'd itch himself bloody to this point. He'd put a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And we were just getting really worried. So we brought him in a couple of months, I think about 2 months ago. He was on steroids for 2 weeks. Didn't itch once. And I don't recommend steroids for longevity.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But the day after he finished the steroids, he was back itching.
Yeah.
So we brought him in, and now he's on the Cyto point, I think it's called, for the injection.
Yes,
he's getting his second one now this week, and he's a different dog. Like he had hot spots all over his body. He was his hair was like a wire brush. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
So he's only on the Cyto point now, nearly a month and a half, and his coat's fully back to normal. Like even his behavior is back to normal. Obviously, like you'll notice with any animal, if something's hurting them, the behavior is going to be.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It'll be they'll be under stress.
Yeah. So even if he was meeting dogs, he'd be a bit more on the edgy side because he's irritated by his skin,
absolutely,
which obviously doesn't help. But now he's just back to normal now, which is fantastic, and he's a happier dog. I definitely watch out with, I suppose. Look, not everyone can afford the best food or the Aldi food, but we're like that as well. We work on a budget. What you can get. I always feed the dog before I feed myself.
Oh,
and my wife's the same. They're looked after like royalty.
And we know this acutely as well. I mean, the whole reason we set up Ruby Reese was because of Ruby's food allergies. We didn't know what they were at the time, but it was rashes all over her belly and scratching the hell out of her tummy. So, I mean, this is a problem that we know acutely, and she was really, really bad with it. It ended up being a chicken allergy. So definitely keep an eye on the food.
We thought the exact same. Yeah. We thought we cut out the poultry, and he's still itching. But it's a tough journey, isn't it?
It is. The exclusion diet isn't easy, but it is possible. And once you get things back on point, I know you've got the injections now to cover things over and to get kind of to reset, press the reset button a little bit. But it's a great feeling once you've it all figured out and the world kind of gets back into a bit of a limbo and it all starts to work out again. We all notice that as well. And I'm sure loads of people watching and will have had similar experiences. We hear it so often about the allergies, and
I think it's becoming more and more common. Definitely more common. Even from the college, I think it's because they're so. It's going to be tough saying this word, anthropomorphized. They're on nearly human diets now.
Yeah.
And I think it's obviously affecting them. I found maybe the amount of protein could definitely make a difference. So obviously the food he's on now is way less.
Okay.
But yeah, the injection's a big help.
Brilliant.
So hopefully other people can benefit from this now and kind of just like you might like itching it can be so different. I mean, an itch is an itch. Fair enough, you're wet.
Yeah.
Or an itch can be actually a nervous itch. Or the next one he was doing was let's make a hole in the ceiling.
Exactly. Very good. So overall, sounds like a brilliant breed. We've heard all different aspects. We've cleared up some of the misconceptions and everything. Do you feel like we've done the German Shepherd a justice this evening? And do you have any closing thoughts on the breed and your journey with the breed?
I wish people didn't see them the way they do. Like, I wish they could see it through my eyes that he's just a massive softie and just a big whinge bag. It's what German Shepherds are. They whinge constantly, and I wish people saw that. I did do a few classes last year with people up here, and they all saw how gentle he is and how willing he is to work with me. And I just wish the general public saw that as well. Because I'll go back to that, what I said before, that one comment will just stick with you for the entire day. No matter how many nice ones you get, you'll always go back to that one bad one. And I can probably list them off in my hand and I can remember every single bad comment. I can't remember the good ones.
Yeah.
But that might be me.
No,
But,
I think we're all very predisposed to take on, to only hear like you say, the 10% of negative instead of the 90% of positive. I think it's really important to kind of listen to the other side, the flip side of the coin as well. I suppose what I'm kind of getting from the way you presented the breed now is that maybe they're not the easiest breed of all time, but they're certainly a very rewarding one, and one that if you're willing to meet them halfway and to show them, where show them maybe a bit of direction of where you want the relationship to go, they'll come and meet you that halfway and
that's for sure.
Go on the journey with you.
Like, if just literally show them the best life possible, and they'll give it right back to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that comes with every dog, but again, like the German Shepherd, you have to be obviously just a little bit more cautious because he is on the restricted breeds list.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I mean, if we're out and about, like the coffee shop in Clonakilty, say, or up in Cork City, I love bringing him with me because, all right, I know it's horrible to say, but he is a deterrent. Because I'm a little bit of an anxious breed myself, but like if I have him with me, it's like parting the sea like Moses. Let's get out of the way. But
brilliant.
I love when people say, "Oh, he's a beautiful dog. Thank you." It's nice, but then you get that one. I'm sorry, but mammy who will rip her child away, and she thinks it's going to be dinner.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, and.
Yeah,
because like as you said, the Bernese Mountain Dog is probably the same size, if not bigger.
Yeah,
and I mean it's just a friendly face.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's definitely worthwhile underlining. Misconceptions aren't always true. You definitely can't judge a book by its cover.
Oh, that's for sure.
And check out this breed as well. Ronan, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge, a little bit about your journey. Guys, if you aren't already following, check out at your West Cork Dog Trainer on Instagram. If you're not following us, we're at Ruby Reese Official.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much for coming on. You're an absolute legend.
Really appreciate it. I'll leave you one last one just to show you what a German Shepherd is really like. That's what he does.
Very good.
That's our fella.
Relaxing for the evening. Very good.
Absolutely chilled.
Just how we like to see it.
That.
Very good. Thanks a million for coming on and sharing once again. Really
so
appreciate it.
Privilege.
See you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.